Welcome to another Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin, and I'm sharing with you tonight a World War II banknote from the extinct monetary issuing authority of Bohemia and Moravia. Before I start this video, I invite you to click the link and subscribe to my channel to receive automatic updates and information in your YouTube feed about my videos. My 105 videos that I have listed up on my page so far. I want to thank in advance Wikipedia for information. I want to thank the Standard Catalog of World Paper Money for information. And the banknote book is a common reference for my channel. Although it wasn't super helpful tonight, I did research it to see if I could find this banknote on that channel. This is a 100 Korun from Bohemia Moravia. There's a date on this note of the 20th of August, 1940, and I'll get to that whenever we touch that portion of the note. It measures 170 by 83 millimeters, and it is predominantly blue. I want to issue a few disclaimers at this point. This is not a pristine note, and I just think that adds to the character of the note. This also contains a lot of words that are out of my realm of experience. I've discovered, unfortunately, with a lot of European languages, that sometimes the Latin letters bear little resemblance to the pronunciation of the word. And so I apologize in advance for the butchery that I know I'm committing against these beautiful languages. When I hear them spoken, I'm just impressed with the lilting song-like qualities of them. Whether that song is rock and roll, heavy metal, or art songs, well, that's just to be cussed and discussed on another channel beyond the scope of mine. Let's take a look at the front of this note. It has a view of a castle complex right here. It has a view of a river. There's a bridge, and there's a statue right there. Those are the main themes that you see on the front of this note. In March of 1939, Hitler defended the sensibilities of ethnic German speakers, and so a large swath of Czechoslovakia became German overnight. Not unlike other politicians in modern times who have used citizenry of an ethnic nature as a pretext to march in and annex significant sections of neighbors. There are German and Czech text on this note. You see them up here. Each line is a different sort of text, and down here underneath the image, this half is one language and this half is another language, German and Czech. And then we have up here a red shield that has the symbol, or has the arms of Bohemia, which would be the double-tailed lion rampant. We have, let's see, we have the castle in this area, and I'm going to try this one time, and I apologize if I mispronounce it, but it is Hradčany, I believe is how you would say that. That's the name of the complex that contains this cathedral and these other massive buildings that stretch from one end of the horizon to the next. There's also the Charles Bridge, which spans this river, and it's the Oltava River in Prague. The statue is over here, and it's by Ludwig Simek, and it's a statue of Brunswick or Brunovic. I can't read my own handwriting at this point. I think it's going to say Brunswick, maybe. It is a statue of this knight, and he is armored, and he is enweaponed. And we're going to get a little bit more into the information about that knight in a little bit. Over here, in the left portion of the note, you can easily see a watermark that is not limited to this section. It is a watermark that goes throughout the entire surface of the note. A lot of German and early war, or pre-war European notes have patterns in the paper that go all the way through the paper, not just in a tiny region of the note. This note was printed by, and this is a mouthful, let's see if I can get it out, by the Banknotendruckerij der National Bank for Bohem and Maren. You would never guess that I have German heritage, would you? Hradčany is the castle district of Prague. And it isn't just massive on this banknote, it is massive in real life. In fact, this is one of the largest castles in the entire world. And it contains St. Vitus's Cathedral, and there are many noble palaces that altogether make up this district. This district functioned as an independent city, I believe, until 1784, when it was combined with Malastrana, Stare Meslo, and Nove Mesto, and they became a single city. The Charles Bridge that you see here in the foreground going over the river was actually started in the year 1357, and it was finished in the early 1400s. So these feats of mechanical or these feats of engineering took time to construct, but here we are hundreds of years later, and they're still standing. Now, the statue over here is of sandstone, and it was actually created in 1886 by Simek, who based it on an original from the 15th century. Because it was sandstone, I imagine erosion had something to do with it. I have a lot of experience with sandstone out here in Oklahoma, and it does weather very easily, so that could be part of the problem. Let's take a second to look at the back of the note, and while I'm turning it over, please turn over in your mind whether or not you want to subscribe to my channel. I think it's worth the time, and it's certainly worth the price of nothing. The back is as simple as the front seems to be decorative. The margin here on the left contains text that indicates this is a second issue of this note, and the back of the note is mainly text here in the middle, with the name of the country in German and Czech, and the names of the denomination in German and Czech. And it has a rather pleasing design around that panel of stylized leaves or flowers. I assume it's plants, but it could also be footprints of birds, at this point. But I'm going to go with my idea that it is leaves and plants. Now, this note is flawed. You can see the severe crease right here, and not as easily to see is the lighter crease here and here. And what I imagine happened was this note was folded in half, and for a long time was probably put in a safe place, maybe a wallet, maybe the pages of a book, so that wouldn't get lost. This is a high value note for the time, and it was an issue in a war state that was going to be a significant war zone. You don't want to lose money whenever you don't know if it's going to even be valuable enough the next day. And sometimes in the United States, when you have a note that's been quartered like this, it's because it's been folded in half, and then folded in half a second time, and then hidden behind your ID in your wallet, or put someplace so that you have it as an emergency ration. This does not take away from the story of this note. Knowing that this is World War II, knowing that Germany was behind it, and knowing that it was forced upon a people in an area because of a neighboring country, just contributes to the poignant tale of this note. The note is beautiful, but it is as tragically sad as it is beautiful. Now, I want you to think about that as I turn this note back over, and let's see how many thematic collections this banknote would fit in. This banknote would fit in a collection of castles, a collection of rivers, a collection of reflections. You can see the reflections in the water. A collection of bridges, a collection of soldiers or knights that have weapons, trees, the color blue, extinct issuing authorities like Bohemia Moravia. All of these would make great themes that this note would comfortably sit in. Notes with clouds on it in the back. It's something to ponder, and ponder it I do often because this is one of my favorite banknotes. Please subscribe by clicking on the subscription button, like as well as comment, and correct me or add to the story of this note on my YouTube channel, Numismatic Notes with Benjamin. I am Benjamin. Have a jewel of a day.